Good.
Okay, go for it. Jump in.
Logan, first of all, congratulations, my man. Crazy week, missing weight, Magomed, new opponent. How did everything with a kind of a little bit of a roller coaster week go into the fight? Any differences?
Yeah, change your opponent the day before obviously is a little different. But we were prepared to fight anything. And so I think me and my team did a really good job of going back to the basics, drilling the essentials. And, I think you saw it in there tonight. Obviously had a little change of plans first 2 seconds in, but I'm happy with effort. Effort was 100% tonight.
Talking about going back to the basics and some of that, is that what you think you need to do just to win this tournament? Maybe not a lot of flash, just basic, maybe American wrestling like we talked about on media day to win this whole thing.
Yeah, I know that my wrestling positions and doing it for 15 minutes, 25 minutes, I don't think that there's any more than me. And so I, did a good job of getting to my positions, doing damage, cutting them open, and really just setting a high pace on them,
Last thing for you, I don't know if you saw any of the other welterweights. I know we kind of just watched right there. We just watched Jason. Thad Gene did have a big moment. First fight of the night, another welterweight. Did you see your maybe future opponents?
I didn't get to watch the first two because I was warming up.
Right.
Saw Jason win. I'm fighting, what's his name?
Kikuri?
Yeah. So I saw a little bit of his fight, but, I was worried about my fight at that time.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Logan, I just have one question for you. Looking at the opposite side of the bracket, seeing your teammate Jason Jackson over there on media day, he said you guys haven't really spoken about the possibility of competing against each other, but there's sometimes that awkwardness in the room when you're in the gym together. Do you feel that awkwardness as well, and how do you feel about the possibility of facing him in the finals?
Me and Jason have been training together for a long time. I would say we're friends and helped each other get ready for fights. At the end of the day, competition, it's competition. So we, like I said before this thing started, there's 2 fights before we have to worry about that. There's 1 more fight before we have to worry about that. So for me, all I'm worried about is semifinals, and we'll go from there.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Logan, you spoke about last time the difference between the season and the playoff style. Was it easier to implement your game plan tonight, or how did it feel out there compared to maybe last season?
You weren't worried about points. You were worried about going out there, putting on a dominant performance, getting a win, moving forward to semifinals.
How was it using some of those elbows?
Yeah, elbows make a huge difference for grapplers and wrestlers, and to cut people open and do damage. And so I was happy I got to use those tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck.
Dylan here with Combat Casuals. Looking ahead at the semifinals, do you let yourself decompress and celebrate this victory tonight, or do you keep in that fight mentality and continue getting ready for the semifinals?
Yeah, I think you take the weekend to relax, enjoy all the hard work the first 10 weeks you did, see my friends and family, and then it's back to work, right? Making sure our body's healthy, get your mind right again, and go look at what this guy's good at and put a game plan together.
Now, in the spirit of the tournament, you were willing to step in the fight regardless of the opponent. What in your career do you attribute that mentality to be able to take those kind of short notice replacements and go in there and implement what you want?
Obviously with wrestling, you don't know who you're going to wrestle, right? You go into a national tournament, there's 64 guys in a bracket. When you're going across the country, you don't know who you're wrestling. Especially back in the day before, who had everything on your phone. So you show up, next man up mentality. It doesn't matter who it is. You go in there and, like I said before we started this, 100% effort, no matter who it is. And that's what I think I did tonight.
I know it's in the past, Logan, but what was your initial reaction when Magomed missed weight? And then how much did you know about Luciano coming into this one?
I was a little disappointed. He was, I was excited for that fight. I think a lot of people were excited for that fight. And I can't change it. It's a world tournament in this weight. So it is what it is, and Lucy, I didn't know much about, and so we had about, 24 hours to get ready, and we watched a few fights and kind of went from there and just went to our game plan and got to our positions.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I do a photo before you head out? And ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, Logan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.